Hi, this is David Ruben from Ruben Law Firm. I wanted to make a video and explain something based on my own personal experience in trying family law cases over the last 30 years. Most people are going to tell you, in fact, everyone's going to tell you when you get into the family law arena, that it's always better to settle cases. And let me tell you something, that's true. Of course, it's always better to settle cases. It's cheaper. It's better for the kids. It's better for your mental health. It's usually better for the parties. And they always say that a good settlement is something that neither party is happy with. So yes, we always start from the standpoint that it's always better to settle cases. However, and this is a big however, and this is something I've learned and I stand by, there are a good amount of cases where the parties are better off going to court. And there's 100 reasons why that could be the case. Does the lawyer make more money if you go to court? Well, actually, you'll be surprised. I tell people all the time, I make much more money when I'm in the office working on cases, talking to new clients, doing other things, because I'm still billing hourly. When I'm out in the courthouse, I'm not making as much money. I'm billing, but we don't have as much time. I'd much rather, from a money standpoint, be in the office working. But clients will always tell you, and they'll tell their spouses, you don't want to use this guy because he's going to go to court and spend all your money. That's not the case. At least it's not with me. But what I tell people is sometimes, more often than you would think, it is better to try a case, especially property cases or custody cases. Why? Because people need their day in court sometimes from a mental health point of view. That's what courtrooms are for. That's what judges are for. And judges are always going to tell you, of course it's better to settle, but I'm here if you want to have a trial and have me make a decision. No problem. Go ahead and do that. And more often than not, when I have trials with people, and I'm not going to tell you that I win every trial because there's no such thing as winning or losing. Winning a trial is having your client go to trial, walk out of the courtroom, have your result, and your client's saying, you know what, we did the best we can. Maybe we got all the relief we wanted and they're having parties and jumping up and down, and that's a great thing. But maybe it was somewhere in the middle, or maybe they didn't get what they want. But as long as they said, you know what, I had my day in court, I can put it behind me, I can move on, and we can move on as a family, especially when there's kids involved, that's a good thing. The other reason, especially in custody cases, to have a trial, it's never good to have a trial in a custody case. You never want a judge making a decision. But a lot of times people will settle right before trial. And what happens when they settle? Usually one person thinks they got the better of the other one. And then they're kind of this indecision. And then 2 years later, they're back for a modification. And then they settle. And 2 years later, they're back for a modification. Sometimes it takes having a judge make a decision and both parties realize how difficult it can be to have a third person dictate to you what should happen in your family, and the parties go home and say, you know what, we are done with this court system. We are done with lawyers. We are not spending any money, and we are going to focus our energy on raising these children in a nice, peaceful way and move forward. So when people say, you should always settle a case, you should always go to mediation, of course, it's always better to do that, but not always, and you should be aware of that. And if you do go to trial, you should always have an attorney with experience who's going to guide you and try to do the best job possible for you.